Janine, I'm talking to you at the moment because you are on your way over to the Isle of Man. You're on something of a mission, aren't you?
I am. Family history has become very important to me. I've recently been ill, and I've actually had a diagnosis of cancer. So the last 2 years have been horrible, but I'm now coming out of that, and I do seem to be getting better, which I'm absolutely over the moon about. So I'm hoping now that I can perhaps devote more time to it and sort of get on further with it. That's what I'd like to do.
Well, we're thrilled to hear that you are getting better, Janine, and we wish you all the very best with this.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's quite an epic mission, I'm going to say. And you're trying to track down some family. Well, you have some very interesting links with your family on the island, don't you?
I do, yes. There's a mystery lady from Douglas who has been talked about in the family, but I never knew what relation she was. But she lived in Douglas for years on the Isle of Man, and she actually traced part of the family tree. And our shield actually has the Knights Templar insignia. So I was quite taken aback when I knew that.
This is so exciting. So you might have links to the Knights Templar. That's incredible.
Yeah. And really, I'd just be so delighted to hear from any current Crossleys to see if we could link up to the family tree. It was my granddad, Frederick Crossley, that actually owned mines here. And please forgive me on the pronunciation. Is it Muggold?
Oh, Mackled. I think you mean Mackled Head.
Mackled,
yeah.
Yes, Head. He had some mines there, and he also had some at Foxdale. I am in the process of trying to go and see them, but I'd just like any information about the mines themselves, or if anybody notices anything saying Frederick Crossley, because that's my granddad. But he actually died in 1934. And the only other clue we have is that in the mines, and it's really not clear which ones it is, but when he owned them, there was what they called a century storm on the Isle of Man. And this meant that as he did open cast mining, the mines were flooded. And I think at that point they were stopped, they stopped work on them. I've been trying to do some research myself. There's a Don Crossley and a James Crossley. Don Crossley has won the TT races several times. This is going back a little way, but I think that would be easy to check because it's the TT races, and Don Crossley started coming as runners-up and kind of things, and then he actually won it a couple of times. And there was a James Crossley as well, who was involved in something called Heron and Beasley, which was hospitality industry. That was in the 1850s.
This could be Heron and Brearley, which is our brewery over here, and they own a number of pubs, so that would make sense.
It would, definitely. And Crossley and Harrison are bakers, and this is going back, I think it was after the war. Also, what's intrigued me, and I can't at the moment prove it, but our family shield has one white stag on it. Now, I have been told by, several people actually, that you're not allowed to bear arms and have a white stag on it unless you're related to royalty. And there has been, my father said that for years there has been a rumour in the family that we are the product of a bastard of a king.
This is incredible. What a story.
So anything to do with that, or anything to do with the Knights Templars, I'd be so pleased. Just any little tidbits that I could follow up. It just means so much to me because, I've always been intrigued by the Isle of Man, and whatever I've heard, I thought I'd just like to go there.
I'm not surprised. Have you ever been here? Have you been here before?
No, my dad went years ago. I was a teenager, so that's going back a little way. But I know he definitely went when I was a teenager to the Isle of Man with my Uncle Jack.
Well, it sounds like your family name is woven into the very history of the island, because you've got the link with the bakers, you've got the link with the TT, you've got the link with Heron and Brearley, you've got the mines, you've got all kinds of links to the island. So, fingers crossed something comes up here. Fingers crossed, well, no pun intended.
It meant so much to me that you said, you offered to let me come on and talk about it, because really I'm not very good at things like this. I have contacted the Isle of Man Family History Group and And so I'm hoping that long term they might be able to help me. And if you can, even if it's only a small detail, I'd be so pleased to hear from anybody.
Well, what is the best way for people to get in touch with you, Janine?
Yes, so my email address, it's G as in gold, M as in mother, and then .Crossley, which is as it sounds, it's CROSSLEY, and that's just at gmail.com.
Well, fingers crossed you get many people in touch with you there, Janine. In the meantime, do keep us posted, won't you, Janine? Let us know how you're getting on, and all the very best with your quest.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a safe trip over as well. Thanks,
Bye.
Janine. Bye.